Oh, hello. Hola, namaste, shalom, and assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum is a Muslim greeting and it means peace be on you. My name is Najmun Riyaz and I welcome you to this virtual story time. Today I'll be sharing with you guys my book, The Essence of Eid. But before I do that, let me give you a little bit of my background, especially to the parents. I'm a Muslim by faith, as you can just tell by the way I dress up, but mostly through my hijab or my headscarf. And I'm originally from Kashmir. Kashmir is a beautiful valley. It's located between two countries, India and Pakistan. It's in the foothills of the Himalayas. I came to US when I was about 26 years old, and even though I'm a psychiatrist by profession, my main identity comes from being a mother to 3 beautiful children. As difficult as these last couple of years have been, especially this past 1 year with the pandemic, and also with the tragic events of the racial discrimination, division, and intolerance to the ideology, beliefs which are different than either that of the majority or even that of our own personal belief system. One thing is clear, that the world is changing, and hopefully, inshallah, changing for good. Through my profession, we usually lay great stress on acceptance and awareness. So by even just talking or speaking about these intolerances and speaking up against this cultural, racial, and religious discrimination, we are actually headed for a change, believe it or not. So writing this book was a tiny attempt to be a part of that change. When 9/11 happened, people of my faith, we found ourselves not only overwhelmed by the grief of having lost thousands of innocent lives to these unfortunate bombings of the Twin Towers, but we also found ourselves grappled by the emotion of shame, embarrassment, and guilt from the fact that the men who unfortunately committed these terrible crimes against innocent people belonged to our faith. Unfortunately, they were Muslims. And 9/11 was followed then by the stereotyping and several incidents of bullying against people, especially children, who came from Islamic faith. I used to hear stories of several Muslims being called as terrorists, especially in their schools. So as a mother, I took it as an obligation to define who we were as Muslims before someone else could. Even though my children, they attended a Quaker school, and the Quakers, their core belief system is equality. They embrace all sorts of faiths, cultures, people of color, and ethnic diversities. But I still wanted to do my part. And that's what led me to writing this book. And the main character of this book is Haroon. So this is like Haroon's personal narrative. Haroon is my son, who was in 4th grade when I wrote this book, and he's now a senior at Morristown Friends School. So every year we would go to his school at the time of the Eid or in the middle of the Ramadan. We would read this story to his classmates, and at that time, this book was written as a rough draft on a few pieces of papers. And I remember we would show his classmates some slides obtained either from the internet or Google Images, and which would kind of portray the Muslims and how we dress up and how we come from all different parts of the world and how we celebrate our holiday. We would also take some snacks to share with his friends in his class. So it sort of became like a yearly ritual for us. He would feel a sense of identity and belonging, and his friends would learn not only about his faith, his holiday, but also would become a part of his celebration like he became a part of theirs. And they also loved the snacks. So his then 4th grade teacher, she was a very kind, generous, and a wise woman, Mrs. Margaret McKee. So she suggested and said, hey, why don't you compile it into a book? And that is what I did. So when it came time to find an illustrator, because I know finding one, is not that easy. So my husband was volunteering for an organization called KEI. KEI stands for Kashmir Education Initiative. It provides education and empowerment to underprivileged children in the state of Kashmir. So he said, why don't you reach out to one of their students, and they call them scholars. And that is how I got in touch with Insha. Insha is a bright, talented young girl. So she handmade all the illustrations of this book. Thank you so much, Insha. So without much to do, find yourselves a comfortable spot. If you have younger children, feel free to put them in your lap. And if you are older, then get closer to your parents, to your brothers and sisters, and let's begin to read the essence of Eid. Now, I had earlier on thought that I was going to just read you this book, like from here on, with the paper book, but then I realized that it wouldn't be fair. It wouldn't do justice to Insha's beautiful illustrations. So I'm going to take you guys to another video in which I will read you this book through a PDF file so that you can see these illustrations and also can see the wording of the book. And so let's go ahead and begin. Essence of Eid. Assalamu alaikum. Hello. My name is Haroon and I'm 10 years old. I'm an American Muslim. My parents immigrated from Kashmir, India, to settle in the United States many years before I was born. Muslims are the people who practice the religion called Islam, which means submission to God in Arabic. We are a peaceful religion that believes in one God we call Allah. We also believe that Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is Allah's messenger. In addition to Prophet Muhammad, Muslims believe in Jesus, Moses, and many other prophets. These are the people chosen by God to spread his message of kindness, equality, and peace. Muslims read and follow a holy book, the Quran, but we also believe in the holy books of other faiths like the Bible, Torah, and more. Just like Christians celebrate Christmas, Jews celebrate Hanukkah, and Hindus celebrate Diwali, Muslims celebrate a special holiday called Eid. The literal meaning of Eid is happiness or celebration in Arabic. We celebrate 2 Eids in a year. Eid al-Fitr marks the end of our annual month of fasting, Ramadan, and Eid al-Adha marks the end of Hajj, the pilgrimage to the Muslim holy land of Mecca. Eid al-Adha also is a time to express our faith and belief that every hardship is a test from Allah. If we have strong faith in Him, He will never let us down. Now look at this nice picture that Insha made, and she has written in Arabic. In the Arabic, she has written Eid al-Adha Mubarak, Eid al-Fitr Mubarak. The story behind Eid al-Adha goes like this. Prophet Ibrahim had a dream that Allah commanded him to sacrifice his most beloved thing in order to prove his faith. His most beloved thing in the world was his son, Prophet Ishmael. He told Ishmael about his dream, and Ishmael said that if it was God's will, then his father should sacrifice him. As Prophet Ibrahim, with tears in his eyes, was about to sacrifice his beloved son, a voice from behind said, "Stop! Ibrahim, this was just a test from the Almighty, and you have passed." A sheep appeared behind him, and the voice told Ibrahim to sacrifice the animal instead and distribute its meat to the poor. In remembrance of that event, Muslims celebrate the day of Eid al-Adha. For those who can afford to make a qurbani, or a sacrifice of sheep, a camel, or goat, they must donate the meat to the poor to feed and provide for those in need. Eid al-Adha also marks the end of the pilgrimage that Muslims make to Mecca, or holy city in Saudi Arabia. This pilgrimage is also called the Hajj. There they visit the Kaaba, what we consider to be the house of God. It symbolizes faith, simplicity, and the important belief in Islam that everybody is created equal. Every year before the time of Eid al-Adha, millions of Muslims from all over the world attend this pilgrimage to pray and feel closer to God. During the month of Ramadan, my whole family and Muslims all around the world fast for 30 days. Each day we wake up at dawn each morning and have a big breakfast. It's called suhoor in Arabic. Soon after breakfast, we pray, read the Quran, go back to sleep, and wake up again in the morning. We can't eat or drink anything during the day until sunset, when we break our fast with a meal called iftar. During Ramadan, we have to be especially kind. We have to use compassionate words, help others, and be polite and patient with everyone. In the afternoon, Mom and Dad get busy cooking a nice big dinner for the family. The whole family sits together at sunset, ready for iftar. We make a special prayer, thanking God, and end our fast by eating dates and water. Then we eat our delicious hearty meal of bread, rice, chicken, vegetables, and dessert. My mom says that once I get a little older, I can start fasting every day. Young children, elderly people, or people who are ill don't have to fast during Ramadan. Sometimes, especially over the weekend, I'll wake up at sunrise to join my family for breakfast and then go back to bed. I also help out my family in preparing meals and setting up the table. Mom says I'll get rewards for doing such good deeds even when I'm not fasting. The last day of Ramadan is very special because Eid al-Fitr is the day after. In some countries like India and Pakistan, Muslim families celebrate the evening before Eid called the Chandra, which means the night of the moon. Homes are decorated with ornaments, lights, and balloons. Girls and women put on special floral tattoos on their hands called mehndi or henna. They sing and dance into the night. Then comes the day of the Eid, my favorite day of the year. We wake up in the morning, take showers, and get to wear fancy clothes. My dad and I wear the Patani suits, which are from India. My mom and sister wear bright, colorful Indian dresses. Mom makes a sweet pudding called kheer. I get to eat my favorite chocolate cake and so many more sweet treats. After breakfast, the whole family heads to the mosque, the Muslim place of worship, for the special Eid prayers and to greet one another. The mosque is quite a sight with beautiful colors and smiles everywhere. People of all ethnicities and backgrounds are dressed in their brightest, best clothing, hugging one another. It feels as if the whole world has come closer, rejoicing and spreading peace. There are balloons, face paintings, camel rides, bounce houses, and so many games for kids to play. It is so much fun. After that, we come back home to eat a delicious lunch. Our family has a special tradition of greeting each other all over again when we enter our home. We all give hugs to each other, saying Eid Mubarak or Happy Eid. Then my parents, aunts, uncles, and grandparents give the children some money as a gift. It's called Eidi. This Eid, since we visited our extended family, my Eidi collection was really big. Some families give toys or other gifts to the kids as well. An important part of Eid is giving charity to people in need so that their Eid can be just as special as ours. Mom says Eid is not just about having fun, but it's also about putting smiles on others' faces. My parents take me to the store to use some of my Eidi to buy a couple of toys to give to children in need. We gift wrapped it and took to the local orphanage. It felt so good to know I put a smile on someone's face. We end our day by having a big potluck dinner where we invite all our family friends. We decorate our home the night before with balloons and lights and special Eid decorations. Every family brings in their best cooked dish to share. I get to play with my old friends and meet so many new ones. Dad got us a huge cake with Eid Mubarak written on top, and he made the youngest guest cut the first piece. At the end of the party, each kid got to take home some goodie bags that me and my sister made, filled with candy and chocolate treats. As the big day comes to an end, I'm always so tired. But at bedtime, I think of all the good memories that the day created for me. I feel so happy and thankful. At bedtime, Mom asks me, "What was your favorite part of this Eid?" Every year, it's something different, whether it's getting Eid, getting gifts for children in need, or celebrating with my friends. Eid and every other holiday in all religions and cultures are all about sharing, showing our love for our friends and family, creating wonderful memories, and above all, being thankful for all the wonderful blessings we have. I can always look forward to saying Eid Mubarak. So thank you so much, guys, for listening, and I hope you like this book. Since we're in the spirit of giving during this month of Ramadan, so what better way to give to your children than the gift of reading? I've also attached a link to Amazon in case any of you would like to purchase this book. It's also available online in most of the major retail stores like Target and Walmart, and I think even Barnes & Noble. I'm not sure though. You may want to check that. And parents, feel free to reach out to your children's teachers. Since I know we're in the pandemic, so going in person may not be possible. But, again, reach out to your kids' teachers, see if they would be willing for you to do this virtual story time for your children on their Zoom classes, and you could share either this book or any other book on Eid or Ramadan. There are some wonderful children's books available online which talk about Eid and about fasting. And feel free to write your own if you can, if you want to, how your family celebrates this special holiday. What is any special tradition that your family does, or any special food that your family prepares, what sorts of clothes you wear, what kind of greetings you have, especially for this day. So I'm sure, your children's classmates and friends would love to hear about that. And I think they'll cherish, what your child wants to share, and even your child, for that matter of fact, will cherish and feel that great sense of connection and pride. I also want to share with you that 100% proceeds from the sale of this book is going to the children of KEI, the Kashmir Education Initiative. So what better way to give during this month of Ramadan other than the reading, education, and empowerment to these children. And Insha has now graduated from her School of Engineering, and she is on her way to becoming an independent and a successful young woman. So thank you again, Insha, for making these beautiful illustrations, and thank you for listening. You guys all take care, stay safe, Ramadan Kareem, and Eid Mubarak.